When Arjun froze on the battlefield, Krishna did not talk about strategy with him. He talked about dharma. He talked about the relationships between seniors, juniors, and he talked about purpose. People don't buy stories, they buy beliefs. Throughout the pandemic, Tatas spoke about seva, service, togetherness, and family. And these are the aspects which resonated deeply with the beliefs of the audience. On the surface, it may be just a food delivery app, but in deep, Zomato is about its love affair with the Indian food and the palate. Hello, welcome to my podcast series, Unleashing Potential with Storytelling. In my ninth podcast, I'm going to talk about the impact of culture on your narratives. Every story that you tell is not just about facts, it is about wrapping your facts in the culture and the beliefs of the audience who is listening to you. Let's take Mahabharata. When Arjun froze on the battlefield, Krishna did not talk about strategy with him. He talked about dharma. He talked about the relationships between seniors, juniors, and he talked about purpose, something which was close to Arjuna's heart. And we saw the results. Imagine if Krishna had talked about strategy, maybe things would have been different. Let me tell you a truth. People don't buy stories, they buy beliefs that are reflected back at them. Culture and values are like filters. If your story aligns with the beliefs and the values of the audience, it is true. If it does not align, then it may be the most impactful story that you are telling, it will be discarded. In India, what resonates? Community, beliefs, traditions, aspirations. If the companies weave their stories around these values and beliefs, then they don't just communicate, they connect. Let's take the Tata Group, obviously. Their stories are about values and nation building. I still remember a very interesting advertisement about how Tata Steel spoke about values and nation building. And towards the end, they said that we also make steel. Somehow, that advertisement has continued to stay at the back of my mind. Throughout the pandemic, Tatas spoke about seva, service, togetherness, and family. And these are the aspects which resonated deeply with the beliefs of the audience. It is because of that it is not that Tata has not committed mistakes. People have accepted those mistakes. They have accepted whatever Tata throws at them, even at a premium if required. And why so? Because there is a strong belief in our country that business should serve the society. Now, let's look at Soulful, a startup which had become a food powerhouse in the country. Millets have been the poor man's grain in India. They were always second cousin. But Soulful flipped the story. They made it about millets being nutritious, modern, healthy. But they did not abandon culture. They dug deep into Indian Ayurveda, traditions, and the deep penchant, that desire to go back to our roots. The narrative worked because it tapped into something which is close to our heart, that our heritage holds the key to our future. Soulful wasn't just selling cereal, it was rediscovering identity. And that is something which was very close to the common man. Now, let us take the case of our popular Zomato. On the surface, it may be just a food delivery app, but in deep, Zomato is about its love affair with the Indian food and the palate. Their English notifications that kabhi kabhi to ghar ka khana bhi kha lena chahiye, and their discounts over the cricket activities are not just incidental. They are about aligning with how the Indians speak, talk, bond over the food. Food here isn't just about consumption, it is about community, it is about emotion. Zomato, through its advertisements and the placement of its narratives, has bonded closely with the Indian food beliefs. By speaking the language of food and humor in a different way, Zomato has become like the voice of your friend at the dinner table. So these were all good things. Now let me take you to a flip side where a company did not cater to the culture and beliefs. Kellogg's introduced its cereals in the 1990s. When they came in, they talked about introducing breakfast the Western way. They did not realize that we Indians love a hot and sumptuous breakfast. Let it be idli, dosa, or maybe even parathas, as we say in Punjab, and with a topping of butter on that. When Kellogg offered its items in the market, it failed to align with the deep beliefs of the Indian homemakers. The women boiled the milk and added it to the flakes, making it very, very unpalatable. The idea of cold milk in breakfast just didn't work. Later on, Kellogg did recover some ground by introducing some cornflakes for children. And mythology proves this. When Hanuman leaped across the ocean, it was not about power, it is about bhakti. It was about believing in a bigger purpose, a larger cause. That inspires us even today because it nurtures the strong belief that we have that purpose and values can move mountains. So, what do these stories teach us about crafting narratives? Well, I would say four things. Number one, understand values first. What does the audience really care about? Beauty, trust, identity, convenience. Second, align your story arcs. Use references that the audience already relates to, like dharma, food, heritage, or even humor. Third, balance tradition and aspirations. The best of Indian narratives, when they talk of inspiration, they do not forget tradition. That is a golden rule. And lastly, build trust because trust is currency. So let me put it this way: Tata, Soulful, Zomato succeeded where Kellogg's failed. So here is my biggest takeaway for you. A good story informs, a great story transforms because it delves into what people already believe. Whether it's Krishna advising Arjun, or it is Tata talking about building the nation, or it is about Soulful talking about the roots of our country, or Zomato aligning with the food, or even Kellogg's, stumbling across by not following the culture. One thing that comes out very strongly: every narrative lives or dies by how well it breathes the culture of its audience. Thank you for listening. And remember, the next time you craft a narrative, ask yourself a question: whose beliefs am I speaking to? Wait for my next podcast. Till then, bye.